So I launched a business on Tuesday, like 2 days ago. And the way that I launched it was with a lunch and learn. So you guys are invited to a lunch and learn. That's where you are today. My lunch and learn. Okay, everybody on board? So this is how we chose to introduce ourselves. This is how I will introduce myself at other lunch and learns that we do and workshops and stuff like that. So I am looking for you all's feedback. I'm hoping I have a couple of minutes for questions at the end, because I really want to know not only about the speech, but what you all think as far as the idea, the concept, that kind of thing. So thank you for accepting my invitation today and for joining me on this journey as we launch intentional growth strategies. My name is Shannon Carlton, and I am the president and owner, and my two partners are also here with me. You two. Oh. Doug Whittington and Jay Civitello.
I'm Jay.
So before I bring up our speaker today, I wanted to take a couple of minutes and just tell you my story and also share with you the vision of IGS. I have grown up in a small business family. My family owned a small business for 65 years. It was a nursery, wholesale nursery business in Polk County. So I've always had that entrepreneurial spirit, knew I wanted to own my own business. Fast forward, graduated from Florida State, had two girls really, really young. Tried some things, actually had my own business, did not work, but it led me to the position that I held for 10 years with a small publication in branding. During that time, I tried a couple of other little businesses that also didn't quite work. You can say fail, that's okay. And had really no idea what I wanted to do. So I took a class this past spring called Identity and Destiny. Through that class, I learned what my personal mission statement was. So my personal mission statement is to foster relationships that inspire, that, oh, I know this one, like the back of my hand. That inspire and, oh my word, hang on. Sorry. Okay, to foster relationships that inspire, encourage, and change the world. And I had no idea where this was going to lead me. I really, okay, I'm going to change the world? No, not me. So I passed it off by my two very best friends, my mom. They're like, oh, all right, we don't love it, but okay, we can kind of see it. So 2 months after that, I was listening to a podcast. On my favorite podcast is Glambition Radio. And she was talking to Felina Hansen, who has a co-working space in California for entrepreneurial women. Okay. I started researching co-working spaces. What does this mean? What do people do? And I really got into it because I thought, okay, what co-working space is, a lot of people right now are working from home. They're untethered to a desk. They are remote workers or salespeople, that kind of thing. And they work out at Starbucks. They work at Panera Bread. They pull up a computer, or they sit in their car and they work. So what a co-working space does is it brings these people together. So you have a place to go and sit and work where you're working independently with a lot of people. So I've kind of gelled on this idea, and I actually got with Jay and Doug, and they had this idea. We just thought this would really be cool. So we talked about where the space was going to be, what the space was going to look like, and that's not what got us. That's not where we geeked out, if you will. Where we geeked out was talking about building a community. How do you build a community? The people that we're interested in, that we want to bring into this space, are people like Toastmasters. You know, we're interested in personal development, professional development. We want to be with like-minded people that we're not working with them necessarily, but when we go into a space where there's us kind of people, we really get different ideas, and we collaborate and we grow ourselves. And that's where we really got excited about it. So we decided that instead of building the space and hoping people would come, we want to start with the community. So you guys are all familiar with the mighty oak trees, right? I mean, we live in Florida. You're new here, but I know you've seen them, right? They have these huge trunks. They have these beautiful branches that extend all over the place. They change the landscape, right? They are beautiful in the springtime. The branches provide shade for us. So IGS is this mighty oak tree. But you know where a mighty oak tree starts? With a little acorn. So we as the community are a handful of little acorns that when you plant them and you cultivate them will grow into a place that inspires, that cultivates, that encourages, and it changes the landscape. It changes the world. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our speaker for the day, Rich Bishop, and he is going to talk to us about childlike leadership. So thank you all so much for coming and for being part of the organization and the community. And I actually do have surveys that I would love for you all to fill out to let me know how to guide the community. What would make it good? What would make it great? So, that is the end. But I have time. I have 1 minute, right? Yeah. Okay, so if I could ask for questions, any questions that you guys have, not about my speech, but about the business,
So you don't have a physical space for me to come to.
Correct.
So quick question, what's in it for me?
What's in it for you is professional development, personal development. Right now, it's lunch and learns. We are having a...
So if I join your organization, I will go to lunch with people like me. It's a lunch club is what you're offering.
No,
Once again,
there's a speaker.
Okay.
So we had Rich Bishop come in on Tuesday, and he spoke to us for half an hour on childlike leadership.
Fully understand.
And so next week, next month, we're actually having a financial advisor that's going to come in and talk about... what is he talking about?
It's almost
creating
like
financial balance.
It's almost like the Small Business Administration when they have their meetings and they have somebody come and talk and stuff. I mean, once again, I apologize. I'm asking specifically So what makes you different from, for example, the Small Business Administration that has, people who tell you how to run your business come in and talk to you like once a month type of deal? I understand what you're doing is good. There's no question about that whatsoever. But what makes it any different from the other resources that are available to me so that my limited time on what I want to pick and choose and go do? Is there anything that makes it different? I mean, admittedly.
There would be the collaboration of people that would be in that same, working on the same thing. Okay. And then eventually, as the community is built, there will be a place for you to go where you can have a conference room, where you can have your own lunch and learns, you can host your own sort of startup, if you will. Yes.
You mentioned that Grand Oak was IMG. What?
IGS.
IGS, okay.
Intentional Growth Strategies.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what.
And I do have, honestly, I have some. So if y'all could pass those around. Yes.
What's the commitment from our side?
No, that's a good question.
So when I have this space, it will be a monthly membership. Like if you're a member of a gym, so it's a membership that you can utilize when you want to, and there will be the opportunities for the lunch and learns, for the workshops, the mastermind groups. There's actually going to be an intentional growth book club where.
And what order of magnitude is our commitment, financial time? What are you asking of us?
The membership would be $100 a month once I have a space.
Okay.
So until then, it will be paying for whatever it is that you're involved in. Piecemeal.
I don't really have a question, but more of a statement. I work remotely quite a bit, and I feel disconnected. And I think one of the things you need to point out is, you want to feel like you're part of something. I'm in a room with another set of professionals that are just like me, but I don't want to be isolated.
Okay.
And I think that's a really good approach to come in.
Okay.
I like that.
Like-minded.
Okay. Thank you. All right.